on YouTube? Today's video I'm going to go over how I spent over 100 Exalts and upgrades. If you can see my Exalt stack, I have 23x now, and this is after selling some items. And I also did not get a Mage Blood. The Mage Blood ended up being like 190 to 200 Exalts, and I just deemed it too much money, and it didn't really help out this build. I might regret this decision later on, as it might be more expensive, but we can check it out. How much is Mage Blood currently? I'm gonna guess it's probably like 195 Exalts, or maybe it's 210. I guess we'll see. And it is 269 Exalts. Yeah, maybe should have bought it, but this item is probably getting price fixed. Not really sure what's going on. Every single day, these people just increase the price more and more, and no one's really actually buying any of these belts, and it's the same people selling it, just higher and higher and higher. So probably going to wait it out. Maybe eventually it'll go back down, or maybe it'll go to the moon and go to 600 Exalts. Who knows? But the belt for this build does not really matter too much. If I wanted to play an instacker, I would get it, but at this point, this build has done everything in the game. I finally completed Wave 30 Simulacrum. I'm having fun trying to upgrade every single piece of gear. I even did one of the luckiest things ever in PoE, and I'll show it in a clip. But basically, I corrupted both Awakened Added and Cold and Lightning to level 6, which was actually just crazy. And I was completely flabbergasted by what happened. But let's get straight into the upgrades that I did, because it wasn't really that many upgrades, and it just happened to be very expensive process. So upgrades, let's get straight into it. First item I'm going to show you guys, I actually do not have anymore. Someone took my item and stole it. Not really. I actually am paying for a lab service to get the Berserk effect enchant. You can see here it costs 3 Exalts, and this is how you try to get enchants on your items if you craft it yourself, because a lot of times it's impossible to get the enchant on the base you want, but most of the times it is possible. Now, this is a special case because you need an eye level 85 Blizzard Crown. And an eye level 85 Blizzard Crown is really expensive, like 7 to 8x. And Berserk Effect isn't exactly the most popular enchant in the world, unless Lightning Strike Berserker gets a lot more popular. I do know that Fast F made a video about it, so maybe you will see a lot more Berserk Effect Blizzard Crowns pop up. Now, I do intend to do a little bit of a crafting video series for this build, because I did craft this helm from scratch, and it does involve a little bit of shenanigans with imprints that makes it a lot easier. So you can see here the 2 elevated mods on this helm are nearby enemies take 9% increased elemental damage. Now, I got super unlucky on this Maven orb. I spent 6 Maven orbs in a row, 6, to try to get nearby enemies take 9 increased elemental damage. So I share your pain, everyone who does Maven orbing. I have failed 6 times in a row. I think it was actually the first time ever I failed 6 times in a row. So I guess there's the first for everything. However, on the other one, elemental damage and pen, I got it on my first try. So it kind of balanced out, not really. Now the part here that's kind of tricky is I imprinted. So I have an imprint of it right here. So this is the Warlord's Blizzard Crown. So this is, this is the imprint over here, Elevated Warlord's Blizzard Crown. So this is the imprint with the elevated pen. So this means that if I ever wanted to go back and recraft the helm, I would save the base of the Warlord's elevated elemental pen version, meaning that I could keep trying the Awakened Orbing thing without wasting that much money. I would still have to re-elevate the nearby enemies take 9% increased elemental damage though. But for this case, I have deemed that this helm is good enough. Ideally, right now, I'll just craft on a suffix and exalt on another suffix and pray. And if it really is terrible, the other suffix, I might consider reawaken orbing it together. But that would also require me to get a nearby enemies take 9% increased elemental damage again. Now, the bright side, you do have a little bit of life, so that's pretty good. I could also go for a YOLO Annul, which is a 2 out of 3 chance to hit. So I would craft on, I think suffixes cannot be changed, and then I would do, I can't even do that. I would just have to YOLO Annul it. So I can't craft on suffixes cannot be changed. I can only craft on prefixes cannot be changed, but that wouldn't be good. So it'll be a 2 in 4. Or I can beast craft it and do add remove prefix, add suffix, but that wouldn't really help out that much. But there's a lot of different things you could do with it. But ideally, I get a craft on a suffix, and then I exalt on a good suffix, and that's all I can pretty much hope for. So now, the next piece of gear I upgraded, not really gear, is I got some Awakened gems. So here I got Awakened Multi-Strike. An Awakened Multi-Strike ends up being a 10% damage increase roughly on POB for me. Now the reason why Awakened Multi-Strike is good this time around is because of the fact that they buffed Awakened gems. So you can see here, Divergent, before Awakened Multi-Strike used to do 25% less attack damage instead of 20%. So you can see here, these two gems, the main thing is Awakened Multi-Strike repeats 3 additional times and grants you 45% more attack speed. And the 3 additional times it repeats. This also helps out a little bit on giving you more attacks per second, I think. And this should also help out your leech, right? So this one here, you can see the third repeat does 66% more damage, 22%, 44% more damage. And then this one, there's no third repeat on here. The supporter skills deal 20% less attack damage, and this one is also 20% less attack damage. So Awakened Multi-Strike is severely buffed, or extremely buffed. So that's why we get the gem. Now also, that this is not something I actually bought and spent money on, but I corrupted these two, as I said earlier, to be Awakened, added cold and lightning damage level 6. And this actually ends up being a pretty substantial DPS increase, especially if we can get a +1 gems on your brass dome. And if we do get a +1 gems on the brass dome, we will probably switch these two around, put this in here so that we can benefit from the flat. So that would be a level 7 Awakened added cold and lightning. So that's probably what something we'll do once we upgrade the chest piece. Now the last upgrade that we got, so the helm costs around probably like 30 to 40x. Already Awakened Multi-Strike costs around 20x, so that's like 60x already gone. And then I bought this boots from the #1 Berserker guy. He actually swapped his boots over to a Chaos Res pair, so he had this pair for sale, and I bought it for 50 Exalts. Now usually this boot would probably go for a bit more, but the way that this boot works is that a lot of people want to get elusive on crit, and that makes it a lot more expensive to craft because you have to do suffixes cannot be changed, reforge crit, you get elusive, and then you have to do suffixes cannot be changed again and do an Ashton gamble to try to hit off that. The suffixes cannot be changed and add on move speed and then craft on life. So without that extra step, 50 Exalts I feel like is a pretty fair price. Now I could change the enchant around and get pen, but adds 45 to 68 fire damage if you kill recently. Ends up being pretty good actually on POB except for bosses. But right now, so this boot costs 50x, the gem costs 20x, 70x, and the helm costs around 40x. So pretty much I got 3 pieces of upgrade. Got lucky on corrupting 2 gems. And that pretty much cost me around 110x. So currency completely gone. Don't really know how I'm going to farm for a Mage Blood. Maybe I can farm MF Tower or something, or farm Simulacrums. I did finish a Wave 30 Simulacrum. Now this pair of gloves I could probably recraft a bit to try to fix the resist. I'm not really sure, but it seems pretty good for now. Now next up on the upgrade list, I'm probably going to try to get a Watcher's Eye with precision attack speed, as that ends up being the best mod. Currently my Watcher's Eye is just crit multi and some block, which is not really that ideal. So right now in terms of upgrades I'm looking for is mainly scourged items. So Mark of the Elder, you can get scourged and you can get some free resist. Now this item here also has 25 cold res and 6+6 all LE res. Now the problem with this item is that the implicit of the life is gone, and I don't really like that, so I will have to rebuy this and try to get a new one. Now later on when I fix my helm or use a new helm, I'll have to get even more resist and try to fix the int problem somewhere else. So you can see there's a lot of different things I could do. Now this ring I also crafted on int, but basically we're gonna see what's gonna happen, because right now I could also recraft this claw, because this claw I ideally want Ashling, but I do have 36% multi, so it's not too bad. So it's kind of hard to say what's gonna go on, and I should definitely harvest enchant this and get 30 quality, as that gives you 2.13 attack speed instead of 2.11. So there's just a lot of little small upgrades. Ideally I want a +2/+1 brass dome still, but at this stage of the game every single upgrade is going to be extremely expensive. So a lot of people ask me if I'm going to release a shopping cart for the high-end items, but the fact of the matter is that I should probably be releasing a crafting guide for the high-end items, because every single item you need will probably need to be crafted. So I'll probably release a crafting guide for the gloves, the helm, and the boots, because I think those are the main items, and the claw. So expect to see that in the next videos. And yeah, so basically these 4 items will be crafted. This way you probably have to snipe on the market or something. I guess there's a way to craft it. You can spam like reroll caster, but it's kind of hard to craft this item. You could also technically spam essences, which might work better, but we'll see how it goes. But basically, spent 110x on Awaken Multi-Strike, the boots, and the helm. Still don't have the helm currently in service, but I'm going to show you some clips with this new gear, doing the Wave 30 Simulacrum and Maven, and then hopefully you enjoy, because the damage is actually probably higher than my old Eternity Shroud character.
I see the sparks you throw my way. I know your name is written on everyone's mind. Your whole show is captivating me, but don't think that I can see right through that disguise. But when you got close to me, you had me falling so hard, baby, hard, baby. Yeah, now I get it. You got heads turning,
Overall, this character has pretty much surpassed all my expectations. When I first made the build, I did not think that it would be this strong without Eternity Shroud. It turns out I have vastly underestimated LE claws. And it turns out that flat LE scaling is actually pretty good, and that hatred conversion might not be the end all be all of everything. And it's actually kind of crazy. Maybe one day we could incorporate Forbidden Shaco, but I don't think Forbidden Shaco is beatable with a 7-link chest with +2/+1 on it. But that's pretty much the whole ordeal. Character is insane. Kind of regret not getting a Mage Blood, but at this point, I do think this character will be better than a geared out instacker. Maybe not like a 10 mirror instacker, but it will definitely blow instacker out of the water at a comparable investment level. And this character can do everything, and it has a really smooth power curve, like I said. So if you wanted to start playing it, it's fun at 1x, 2x, 100x, 200x, 1 mirror, 2 mirror. And it'll always get better and better. At the top end, it'll probably do around 120, 130 mil with burst DPS with setting up the Vol Lightning Strike and everything, which should be more than enough to one-shot almost any boss in the game. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more mirrors and exalts than I do, and see you next time. Bye.